Hello and welcome to MVA and our new GCSE English Literature series. I hope you're prepared to take a deep dive into the whale rider. It's all coming your way like a very fun tidal wave. So deep breath. Ready? At its core, this book is about a girl called Kahu who wants to be the next whale rider of her clan. If only her grandfather could see past the fact that she's a girl. Our story starts at the very beginning. A very good place to start. And we mean the beginning of creation. We see life in the ocean awaiting the arrival of someone or something momentous, the original whale rider. This whale rider comes on the back of a great whale and throws many spears towards the land and sea, which become birds and fish and men. But there is one spear, pay sharp attention now, that refuses to leave the whale rider's hand. And this spear goes 1,000 years into the future, waiting to flower into something or someone important. We then start with spring. The first scene is of a pod of whales, where the ancient leader, the tattooed bull whale, remembers his own adolescence and companionship with the original whale rider. Spring continues in a place called Wangara, a small town in New Zealand where predominantly Maori people live. We hear of baby girl Kahu's birth, and what an uproar it causes, because she's a girl, not a boy. Her grandfather, Koro, is unhappy because he wants his son's firstborn child to be a boy so he can be the new leader. Because of his pride and prejudice, he won't be able to see Kahu as an option. In fact, he's so unhappy that he refuses to participate in the traditional burial of baby Kahu's umbilical cord. His wife, Nanny Flowers, gets Kahu's uncle, Rauri, and his biker friends to complete the important ritual instead. Spring turns to summer, and the whale pod is swimming along the ancient migration pathways. The bull whale is consumed by grief and memory. The whales now avoid men, where before they had such a joyous relationship. How did it all go wrong? Back to the humans. By age 3 months, Kahu's mother has died, and so she goes to be raised with her mother's family away from Wangara. Koro, the grandfather, wants to protect Maori culture, and he so starts a Maori language and culture school. Kahu comes back occasionally and is always overjoyed to see her grandfather, but he keeps pushing her away, just too proud to love her. It's during this time, when Kahu is just 2, that we first see that she's special. She can communicate with whales. Now the cycle turns to autumn, and we see the herd of whales again, this time with some hard decisions. The place they would normally stop on their journey has been polluted by radiation. A place that had once been crystal clear and a place of life has become ruined by man and has become a place of death. Talk about a stark warning to us all. Raui the uncle decides that he's got to go and find himself in the big world outside Wangara. He goes to Australia, ends up in Papua New Guinea with a friend where he has to confront racism towards him. He eventually comes back to Wangara, where Kahu has come back to be with her father. Koro is anxious about finding an heir, but he won't see who is right under his nose. In a really key scene, he takes some of his star male pupils out to sea, drops a stone in, and tells the boys to go and retrieve the stone. Well, you might guess that this is no easy task, and you might also correctly guess that not one of the boys could do it. You might even guess that there is one person who could do it, Kahu. And how does she do it? After all the boys have failed and out of sight with her grandfather, she communicates with the dolphins and other sea creatures, and they help her get to the stone. Is Koro ready to hear of this phenomenal feat? Absolutely not. Now we get to winter, known as a time of deprivation and death. It all looks very bleak when we first see the whale pod. Instead of continuing on their journey, the bull whale decides to go back to the islands where his rider used to be. As they go, the Aurora Australis shines around them like the goddess of death. Not foreboding at all. Now, the whales and humans finally come together again, But it doesn't look good. First, a pod of whales beaches themselves on the shore, and the people try to help the whales back into the ocean unsuccessfully. After this, the bull whale and his herd emerge from the deep, and the tattooed bull whale beaches himself. Koro sees this as a sign that the tribe will only live on if the whale lives. They try everything as a community to get the whale back into the ocean. Now it's finally Kahu's moment. She swims out and climbs onto the whale's back, and the bull whale is so thrilled to have a rider again that he returns to the sea, mistaking Kahu for the original whale rider. At this point, Koro finally realizes that Kahu is the one, and when Nanny Flowers gives him the stone that Kahu fetched from the sea, he realizes what an enormous mistake he made by dismissing Kahu for so long. The old mother whale gets the bull whale to realize that Kahu is actually the spear that was thrown forward into the future. See, we told you you need to pay sharp attention, and that he needs to let Kahu go back to the surface. The story ends with the reconciliation between Koro and Kahu, and with Kahu still being able to hear the harmonies of the whales. I'm Swarna with MVA, and I hope this has been helpful.